This
Benefits
conference will now be recorded.
is something that you pay outside your compensation, so that they are part of the compensation, but it is for benefit. Like you'll get something out of it, like a tax concession or anything like that.
Correct.
I think also,
Yes, Simpress. Go ahead, please.
I think also compensation is based on merit. So pretty much, um, they can decide maybe to give a compensation to an example. They can decide to give a compensation like an allowance to someone, but
Right.
but benefit, anyone can have a benefit. So if you want to sign for a benefit, you can sign for a benefit. But compensation, not everybody can have a compensation. It's based on merit.
Right. So compensation and benefits are interrelated, linked, but both are different modules in Workday, interlinked. A compensation is cost to company, totally outflow. A benefit can be an earning or can be a deduction as well. A benefit can be a deduction to an employee. A benefit can be an earning for an employee. But compensation is completely earning to the employee. So first, these things to be clear. A benefit can be a deduction. A benefit can be a earning, right? Fine. So can you tell me a few examples? What are the types of benefits normally we have?
Salary
Few.
sacrifice.
Sorry,
But you
sir.
said
Types of benefits.
Salary packaging, salary sacrifice, and
Yeah, that can
LAPA.
be Australia. Right. Salary sacrifice is open enrollment. I used to run for Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. So friends, in Workday, it just consider this session is just an overview to give some heads up. Don't worry, it's not actual session. I'm trying to give some heads up on what are the components we have in Workday, what are the types of plans we can configure, what are the coverage types we have, who are all vendors, how to configure vendors, I mean benefit providers, that we'll discuss. Just a overview session. From tomorrow onwards, I'll come with the requirement along with the PPT presentation, with definitions, we'll understand the requirement properly. So normally in Workday, okay, benefits we can configure under 6 coverage types. Healthcare coverage types, health savings account, spending accounts, insurance coverage, retirement savings, additional benefit coverage types. Okay, 6 types of coverage types we have in Workday, delivered by Workday. It's a kind of a grouping. And these two are very related to USA, specific to USA. We have flexible spending account. Okay, specific to USA, they have given these 2 types. If you are implementing Workday in USA, then these 2 plans might be mandatory. Coverage types are mandatory. Okay, for time being, just hold these two. I will explain in detail. Healthcare coverage types. Most of the organizations, they're providing healthcare benefits to employees. It can be a group policy, it can be an individual policy, individual employee, or it can be a policy sponsored by the client for a project also. Healthcare benefits. In this healthcare benefits, both employer needs to be contribute, right? It's not mandatory. However, based on the client requirements and some company policies, employee may have to contribute little amount. Employer also has to contribute little more amount on specific frequencies. Healthcare plan, and whenever the employee is in need, then the employee can claim that amount from the benefit provider. Here, few terms we have to be more clear. One is benefit provider, okay. Another one is employer, or you can, okay, let's call it employer, then employee. Can you give an example who is a benefit provider?
Any insurance company.
Any insurance companies like Aviva, MetLife, LIC, any insurance companies whosoever providing these benefits. Okay, what happens here? Employer will ask employees to enroll into the benefits. Some benefits are mandatory. Some benefit plans are optional. Okay, the employer will ask the employees to enroll into the benefit plans. Also we have here dependents. So based on the plan type, employee has to contribute some of the amount. If dependents also eligible, then for dependents also some of the amount employee has to contribute some of the amount, and employer also has to contribute some of the amount, and both the amounts should be paid to the benefit provider. Both amounts should be paid to the benefit provider. The employee is in urgency or in risk, or employee has to claim. He is not going to ask the employer. He has to ask the provider. Okay, he has to ask the provider. Normally, most of the providers nowadays they are giving a card, a unique reference ID, a unique reference number card. Whenever the employee is in such situation, an accident, an emergency situation, the employee directly reach out to the hospitals and they can display the card, and if it is approved, then they will immediately process the uh, what clinics and all. Okay, so employee dependents and employee amounts plus employer amounts will be paid to the providers. This terminology we have to be more clear. Finally, the amount is with the benefit provider. If there is any risk, most of the people will think whenever they're paying the benefits, employer is responsible. No, benefit provider is responsible. And these benefit providers is tied with some hospitals, reputed hospitals. Okay, these benefit providers will tie up with some hospitals. So employee directly reach out to the hospitals. They can display the card. Earlier, how it works? A few years back, employee, though in emergency condition, they have to first call these providers first, and they have to explain the concerns and everything. And if they will approve, they will give a call or a mail to the hospital, and they will tell to the employee, and again, employee will go to the hospital. So there is no a process, a proper process. Now it is more advanced. Employer directly reach out to the hospital and display the card, and hospital will see whether the hospital also have some records from the benefit providers. In their record, this employee or dependent ID is available. Immediately, they will start the what is that? The process. They'll start the process, and employee has to send out all the bills taken from the hospital to the benefit provider, and they can claim. That's how the healthcare will work. It's just a overview I'm trying to explain here. Okay, that's how the healthcare will work. So any questions here on this process?
No.
So provider, employer, employees, and dependents. How the process works? Every month, based on the employee pay frequency, monthly basis or bi-weekly or semi-monthly, employee has to pay some amount with the employer. Employer also adds some amount to this employee's amount, and they will pay to the benefit provider. If the employee is in any emergency situation, will reach out to the hospital and they'll start the treatment. Hospital will start the treatments because they also holds the provider's information and employee's information. They will verify immediately and they will initiate the process, and the employee can claim the amount directly from the provider. Okay, any questions on this process? So tomorrow I'll come with proper slides. Please bear me for today. This is how it works. Okay, so healthcare. And one more thing you have to remember here, out of 6 we have, right? uh, Out of 6 coverage types we have, out of 6 coverage types, if your client is asking you create dependents also eligible for this plan, any plan dependents also eligible for this plan, only 2 coverage types will allows you to manage and maintain dependents. One is insurance, another one is healthcare. In these 2 coverage types only you can enroll dependents. Rest of the coverage types are not allowing you to enroll the dependents. Okay, this one we have to remember. Only healthcare and insurance allows you to enroll dependents. Rest of the plans are not allowed, allows you to enroll the dependents. Okay, so when you say dependents, who are all dependents?
Your wife and your kids.
Kids. Sometimes parents. Also, some employers will still allow siblings. Okay, fine. Okay. So what is insurance coverage type? Let me expand so that you'll get more idea. Insurance. Any example? Okay, no worries. Insurance, insure. The name is of saying insure. Now, employees can insure their life. If something happens to an employee, permanent disability, short-term disability, or a cause of death, what happens to the employee's dependents? For the future needs, so most of the organizations are also providing insurance coverage to the employees. Insurance coverage to the employees. Okay, if a short-term disability, a permanent disability, or some accident happens to an employee, so the total cost of the treatment, also if something went wrong, then they will pay whatever the promised amount to the dependents. Okay, such plans we have to configure under insurance. Okay, such plans we have to configure under insurance one. It's very simple. The first one is healthcare treatment related issues. Insurance is beyond that. If something went wrong, death cause, permanent disability, short-term disability. As per the policies, employer has to take care of the, employer has to pay some of the amount to this dependents to the providers. Okay. Now, what is the retirement savings? Retirement savings. Why this is also a benefit? Okay. Guys, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Kiran.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So retirement savings. In most of the countries, the retirement savings is mandatory. For example, if you take in US, we have 401k. India, we have provident fund, and even if you take UK, it's pension, and even in US, sorry, in Australia, we used to call it as pension, right? So for future needs, we have to contribute some amount from your salary or from your compensation. Along with that, employer also will contribute some of the amount. And once you retired at certain age, they'll give the lump sum amount with simple interest for the after retirement age. So we can use those amount. Okay. Then after additional benefit coverage types, these are very simple, like commuting benefits. For example, you are traveling from a far city to your office. Then a client, your company might give a commuting benefit. Train ticket they will give you, or they may give gasoline allowance or benefits. Okay, or legal assistance. You see here gym membership, or if you have animals, pet animals, they will give pet insurance, gym membership, any legal assistance required. So these are nothing but additional benefit coverage types. It will be differ to country to country. Okay, so whenever you're creating a benefit plan in Workday, let me help you. We have a components benefit plan components. If you know what are the components, if you know what are the components in order to create a benefit plan, it's very easy to create the benefit plans. So what are the types of components we have, and what are the components we have to learn in Workday benefits? First one is benefit provider. I will list out. I will explain in detail again. First one is benefit provider. The second one is coverage type. Third one is benefit group rates. Okay. worker eligibility, dependent eligibility, worker plan eligibility, dependent eligibilities. Okay, they're the minimum components we need. Of course, frequency as well we need in order to create a benefit plan in Workday. Okay, for example, I will just take it to the screen and I'll access the task create benefit plan. Let's see what are the additional details it will ask. Effective date, provider, who is going to be provide. Okay, who is going to be provider, provide the benefits. We have to create the benefit provider. For example, you are implementing Workday for a client called Walmart. So Walmart might be allied with MetLife, Aviva, or some other Excite, those providers. First, we have to create those providers. AMP, ABN, AXA, Bupa. Okay, these are all providers. And you may ask a question, hey Kiran, can we have a defaulted delivered benefit providers in Workday? No, you have to create our unique benefit providers. So these are all benefit providers. So first you have to select one of the benefit provider. Then after plan type, okay, coverages. We just now we discussed, right? Workday has been classified. Workday coverage types are classified into 6 types. So what is the coverage type? Is it a healthcare, or is it a insurance, or it is a retirement, or it is additional or spending account? Based on you have to select one of the plan type. Then it will ask you coverage type, the one you have configured. Okay, then hit OK. It will allow you to create a benefit plan. Here you will input the benefit plan name, and here you will give the description, who is eligible for this benefit plan, what is the contribution they are eligible, at what how many years they have to contribute. If you want to give some instructions, you can give it here. Okay, then after external plan descriptions, if you want to give more information, so you can create a uniform resource locator, a URL where you will maintain all the benefit related information. For example, healthcare benefit. Employee is contributing, but employee may not aware how to claim the amount. What are the process they have to follow? So what we can do, the client has to maintain a website, or client can give the website address of the benefit provider. Okay, client can give the benefit provider website address here. So once the employee will select, it will take you to the provider's website and steps to follow to claim the amount. Such information also we need. Of course, this is optional. If it demands, we can add it here. Okay. Then after, if it's the group policy, nowadays most of the clients, most of the employers, they're taking group policies. The group policy number is unique. Along with it, each employee ID group policy number is 1, and they will give a unique number for each employee. Sorry for background noise. Then after participating benefit group, so this is also one of the mandatory. Who are all participating in this benefit group? Like only USA employees from USA, or employees from USA, and the employees must be full time or regular. So those groups we have to assign. Okay. Then worker plan eligibility. So when you say USA, let's say 100 employees working in USA, but only out of 100 employees, you want to allow 10 employees to participate in the benefit plan. Further, you have to drill down the plan eligibility. You may have to create the eligibility based on the job profile. You may have to create the eligibility based on the management level. Further, you can create it here. Okay. Then auto enroll. So auto enroll means forcing the employee to take the plan. Some plans, as I said, mandatory. We can't skip those. Employee can't skip those plans. They have to accept the plan at any cost. So in that case, we will select auto enroll. So what happens once the plan is initiated, the plan, it will be defaulted to the employee. You no need to select or pick the plan. So if you think the plan is mandatory, then you have to select auto enroll. So automatically the plan will be assigned to the worker. Okay. So if you think the plan is optional, you no need to select the checkbox. The employee has to opt in or opt out. It's the employee's interest. So use individual rates. This is one of the key and important topic. Okay, use individual rates. Normally rates we will maintain here. Employee cost, employee pre-tax or post-tax, employer pre-tax or post-tax, we will maintain here. Okay, normally we will maintain here. So when you say use individual rates, what does it mean by use individual rates? For example, your client is managing benefits in PeopleSoft. Okay, the client is managing benefits in PeopleSoft. Few plans are there in PeopleSoft. However, for reporting purpose, the client has built an integration to get the details from PeopleSoft to Workday. Actual contributions, actual elections are happening in PeopleSoft, not in Workday. So we're exporting those details from PeopleSoft to Workday, right? If you have such requirements where you are not allowing employee to enroll into the plan in Workday, but if you want to display those results, the PeopleSoft enrollment results into the Workday, you can select manage or use individual rates. Okay, you can select this use individual rates. So we have separate tasks. It's a big topic. We'll discuss in detail. It just I'm trying to give some heads up on the what are the things are required in order to create a benefit plan. Okay, so reset individual rates on plan year begin. So we may have open enrollments. Okay, if you want to reset the rates, whatever you have already loaded, or in simple, the rates have been changed. You don't want to, you are not going to continue with the same rates, but you already loaded. If you want to reset, you can enable this one. Okay, then after currency, based on the country you are implementing these benefits, if you are implementing for USA, you can select USD. If you are implementing for Australia, then you can select AUD. Okay, based on the currency you can select it here. Then frequency. So what is the frequency rate? Per month or bi-weekly or quarterly or weekly? Based on the employee pay frequency, the benefit plans also we have to create based on the same frequency, but not mandatory. Okay, we get the same frequency. And if you are implementing payroll or if you are using ADP to process the payroll, here we have to group these earnings or deductions. Okay, either this benefit is earning or either this benefit deduction. We require to create the codes and we have to assign it here. Then after benefit group, who is participating in the benefit group? For instance, if we select the group here, let me select from the list, active employees. We select active employees in Australia means we have created a benefit group eligibility rule here. Now you see the same group is available here. Active members in Australia. Now, how much they are going to be contributed? Is it a pre-tax or post-tax? What is your pre-tax, post-tax? We'll discuss in detail in coming sessions. What is the employee cost? What is the employer cost? For example, employee is paying 10 Australian dollars. Employer also paying 10 Australian dollars. So which means $20 they're contributing for this plan. Okay. So in order to create a benefit plan, we have to understand the components, coverage types, provider, coverage, benefit groups, frequencies, then after worker plan eligibility rules if applicable. Okay. So any questions here?
I have a question, Kiran. In the bottom one, we added the like $10, right? Can if you have to do a percentage, like I want to pay 5% of my salary as a for
Correct.
a pension. So how do we
Right.
do it?
Good one. So if you want to pay through percentage, so additional plan is not going to be helpful. For this, we have to go through another plan. So can you please give one example, sir?
Like pension. If I want to pay a pension, it should be
Pension will
3%.
also, of course, pension will also. Because currently we are selecting additional benefit coverage type, right? That's why it's a
Yep.
flat amount. Now
Okay.
let me show you. If I select pension retirements, so as I said, based on the coverage type, the fields will be populated.
You're gone on mute.
For some background noise, so I was on mute. Now here you see maximum contribution percentage, minimum contribution percentage. So based on the
Okay.
plan,
Okay.
the fields will be populated. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
also no problem. The fields also will be changed. For instance, if you're selecting healthcare, let me show you another thing. Uh, Here it's asking us participating benefit group worker plan eligibility only, correct? Right? Only two things we are able to see. Benefit group plan eligibility. Now see, I'm going back. Instead of retirement, I will select healthcare or let's say insurance, either way. Insurance. New field has been there, dependent eligibility rule, correct? So based on the coverage type, if it's a retirement, if it is healthcare, if it is a life insurance or additional a spending account, the fields will be changed based on the plan type. That's why Work has given a classification of 6 coverage types. Once we sit with the client and understand the requirement, we have to choose which coverage type is suitable for that. So based on the coverage type, all fields will be available. Okay. Any questions so far or any examples?
I'm good.
Okay. So before that, are you guys aware what we're going to learn in benefit plan? Because I just got to know he has not shared the course content. Shall I walk through the course content first?
Sure.
So you guys will be more clear. Uh, is it okay? Swastika and Simplex?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's see what we're going to learn in the benefits first. 6 coverage types, as I said, right? The first, see how to create benefit providers. Then after we learn 6 coverage types first, and we'll create 6 plans and the 6 coverage types so that you know what is the difference between each and every plan, and we'll create benefit groups. Benefit groups are nothing but grouping employees in under one group, bringing all those employees under one group. It's mostly based on the country. Active employees. Okay. Then after worker plan eligibility rule, dependent plan eligibility rules. I'm sorry for the typo. Dependent plan eligibility rules. Okay. Then after insurance rates, how to create rates for insurance, because we can't give directly like $10 or $5. We have to create a rate table. Okay, insurance rates. Then also healthcare rates. configure dependents, how to configure the dependents and give the priority, which dependent should go first, what also we have to manage. Then after plan year definitions. So once you create the benefit plans, you have to group under a benefit plan year definition, which says when is this plan is going to be active, till how many years this plan should be available in the system, start date and end date. Sorry, start year and end of year. That we have to maintain under plan year definition, and one of the most mandatory topic in Workday. Okay, this is also. Then after benefit events. Events are nothing but reasons. What are the reasons why you are assigning a plan to an employee? Because the employee is newly hired, that's why you're assigning. Or employee is newly promoted, that's why you're assigning. Employee is terminated, that's why you're removing the plan from the employees. Okay, we need an event. It's nothing but a reason. So the benefit event we have to create. Then after we are going to learn benefit enrollment event rules. Benefit enrollment event rules is one of the trickiest setup. Okay, it's like a centralized control. For example, what is the waiting period for the employee to enroll into the benefit? An employee can enroll dependents as well into the benefits. When the deduction should start, from when the benefit coverage should start. Okay, from when this benefit coverage should end. All those details will maintain on the enrollment event. Sorry, maintain the enrollment event rules. Also, there might be 5 benefit plans assigned to one coverage type. Example, you might have one coverage type. Let's take healthcare coverage. Under this healthcare coverage, you might have created 5 plans. You might have created 5 plans. Now, these enrollment rules are going to be controlled. Do you want to assign all the 5 plans to an employees? Or do you want to assign only one plan auto assignment to one employee? Or do you want to give a choice to an employee to elect either of the plans from these 5 plans? Those things will manage with enrollment event rules. Okay. Thereafter, cross dependence policies, or you can also call it a cross plan dependency. So what is the cross plan dependency in benefits? Let's see this scenario. Let's say you have benefit plan A, and also you have benefit plan B. Okay, there might be scenarios where an employee elect benefit plan A, the employee no longer eligible for benefit plan B, which means once the employee plan is selected, employee no longer available to select the plan B, or employee selected plan B, employee cannot select plan A. Either of the plan, only one plan can select it. Or another scenario, if an employee choose plan A, it's mandatory employee has to choose plan B. Or if the employee choose plan B, it's mandatory to choose employee plan A as well. So that requirements also will be in scope with different clients. So there's nothing but cross plan dependency. We can achieve through this cross plan dependency. Then after auto enrollment, as just now we discussed, you can force an employee to choose this plan. You can force an employee to choose this plan without skipping. That also we are going to learn. In addition to this, benefit related business.
Excuse,
Yes, please.
can you explain again the cross plan? I didn't get that. I mean,
Sure,
can
sure.
you explain that one more time, please?
Yeah, sure, sure. No worries. Let's suppose you're working with an organization, okay?
Right.
ABC organization, and now your manager told you, a benefit partner told you, if you select in plan A, if you are enrolling into plan A, you are no longer eligible for plan B. If you enroll A, you are no longer eligible for plan B. Okay, first scenario. Second scenario, if you enroll into plan B, you are no longer eligible for plan A.
Mm-hmm.
Which means when you select both the plans, you should give a hard stop and an error sheet it should populate. Correct? Because as per the company policy, you have to choose one of the plan, not both the plans. If you have such requirements, we can use cross-plan dependency. Now see another requirement. There might be a requirement in this way, where you have to select both the plans. It's mandatory. Once you select plan A, it's mandatory you have to select plan B. Or once you select plan B, it's mandatory to select plan A as well. Both has to be selected. Then it will allow you to submit the record. Such scenarios also will be there. This we can achieve through this cross-plan dependencies. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Then auto enrollment is like some plans are mandatory. So I'll give an example. Whenever you're assigning the plans to an employee newly hired, there might be a deadline for the plan. Within these days, the employee has to be enrolled. You have given the time slot with 30 days. Employee ignored. Employee is not even bothered or worried about the plan to assign. After 30 days, plan is expired. Now he raised a case with bed partner saying that, hey, it seems I forgot or ignored to assign the plan to myself. Could you please reinitiate? Let's assume a benefit partner is managing 10,000 employees. Among 10,000 employees, 1,000 employees are behaving the same. How difficult to handle such situations? Correct? The benefit partner can't manage all the employees' benefits in that case. To avoid that, Workday has given auto enrollment. If you think that plan is mandatory, enable the auto enrollment checkbox. So what happens when you enable the auto enrollment? It forces the employee to choose the plan. Without any employee user intervention, the plan is assigned to an employee. That is nothing but auto enrollment. Okay. Then after benefit related business processes like um, change benefits and change benefit life events and passive events, passive rules, enroll dependents. So we have few business processes and benefits we will discuss in detail with real-time scenarios. Then after passive event, passive event rules, passive event and passive event rules. Let's see this scenario. These are interesting and most trickiest one. In the USA, any employee hired into the organization, that employee can enroll a dependent child. That employee can enroll a dependent child. But once the dependent child reaches to age of 24, once the dependent child reaches to the age of 24, automatically the plan should be deleted from the dependent. Got it? Let's say an employee enrolled into the plan, also employee enrolled the dependent child into the healthcare plan. But as per the company policies, once the dependent child reaches to the age 24, the child is no longer eligible for the plan. Okay, this is a client requirement. Earlier, what we have to do on every weekly basis, we have to run the report, identify whosoever age is 24 and their dependent. Then we'll list out all the names. Through the inbound AIB, you have to waive the plan. It's a manual task. Now we have a passive event concept. What happens? You have to create a rule. If dependent age less than or equal, sorry, greater than or equal to 24th as of today, you have to create some rule and assign the rule to the passive event. The rule is this, and we have to assign to the passive event. Then after you have to schedule. Then you have to schedule the passive events. So what happens now? So every day, this passive event rule will run behind the screens and it will identifies whosoever age, depends age is reached to the 24 and automatically the plan will be waived off from the dependents. Automatically it will be waived off from the dependents. So for this, we have this mechanism, passive event concept. This is also we are going to learn. This is simple, friends. How to assign a plan without any user intervention as per the eligibility rule or criteria. How to waive the plan without any user intervention as per the criteria. Okay. So for this, we have this requirement. Thereafter, we have um, enrollment instructions. Enrollment instructions means you are giving some instructions to an employee how to enroll into the plan. Okay, you'll give some instructions to the employees how to enroll into the plan. For example, healthcare plan. So once you hire an employee, you are going to provide, you are going to trigger these instructions. So employee will go through the instruction. Okay, I'm eligible for this plan along with myself. I can enroll my spouse. I can enroll my two dependent child, whosoever age is not greater than 24. Okay, these kind of instructions you can configure. And based on the plan, and after you can tag to the benefit group and plan, automatically when you're trying to assign the plan or trigger the plan, along with that, this enrollment instructions also will be triggered. Okay, then after electronic signature. So what is electronic signature? You acknowledge. For example, let's take a scenario in US. Most of the organizations is mandatory they have to provide healthcare benefits to employees, or flexible benefit to employees. But few employees they already avail the plan from the external vendor outside of the organization, and they're not ready to enroll into the plan. Also, they're not ready to pay the amount. They're not ready to pay the amount. Okay. So, as per the company policy, they have to acknowledge it. Hey, I confirm I already availed this plan from the external vendor. I'm not going to avail this plan from the employer because I already taken this plan outside. So this I'm confirming on this, and they will generate a letter on that to submit to the respective department. Later, the employee should not say this client, my manager is not given any benefits to me. So for that, we need some electronic signatures. So that also we will see how to configure. Then after, manage individual rates. Manage individual rates. So just now we discussed if you are managing benefits in PeopleSoft or SAP or Oracle, but you are giving access to an employee into the Workday to bring those amounts into the Workday through manage individual rates. We can bring those amounts from PeopleSoft to Workday. Of course, the integration is required, but I will give you the overview of scope, how it works. Okay, so this is we are going to learn as part of our benefits. Of course, along with that, I'm going to show you through EIB how to waive the plan. Already employees assigned and how to waive the plan for group of employees, mass changes, how to assign the plan to an employee manually, how to assign the plan to an employee automatically through inbound AIB, and how to override the contribution percentage or amount through the inbound AIB manually and through the inbound AIB, and support related issues. This also we will discuss. Okay. So any questions so far on these topics or any examples you're looking for? Aruna simply is clear.
It's clear. So, are we gonna be more focused on the benefit of the of US or in general? I mean, are you gonna focus in general of the benefit?
Um, Normally most of the plans we're going to create based on the US specific. Okay. The plan remains, content remains same simply. Only currency we will change,
Okay.
nothing else. Setup is quite same. 99.99% is same. Currency will be changed. If you're creating a plan for Australia, you will give AUD there. If I'm creating a plan for India, I will give INR. If you're creating a plan for US, you're going to give USD. That's it. Plan remains same. And of course, I agree. Benefit group also needs to be changed. We have to create a separate group for US, India, and Australia. Okay.
There's any difference between configure and implement?
Sorry, is there any difference between
Is it a difference between configure and implement? Or is
configure and both remains same simply. The term
okay.
will be changed. Yeah.
So also one more question that is triggering my mind. So if you want to configure the benefit, so I mean, do you have to go to? I mean, I think there's an option in the thing and that is called functional area to see all the steps that you're gonna configure. Is it? I mean, because I didn't see that in the beginning, you didn't show me that in the beginning. So do you have to go to those functional area and see I mean, what we need to configure in the? I mean, because I know when you go to the functional area, you can see all the topic over there and all the
Correct.
necessary configuration.
Yes. So you're asking steps to follow to configure a plan.
Yeah.
Of course, we are doing that. We are going to configure that same. So what we will do is tomorrow onwards, first I will group all the components. We'll go to the definitions. We'll understand the concepts. Then after how to create plan in each coverage type. How to enroll the plan to an employee. After enrollment, what are the common challenges issues we get? So like that, we will discuss for all six coverage types.
I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying that we're gonna see everything. But my question is my concern is, I mean, when you see we're gonna configure all those steps, is it all if you go to the functional area, are you going to see all those steps in the functional area or not? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, yes, we are going to see all the areas in function, yeah, all the steps in functional area.
Okay, all right, cool.
Actually, I just high level I have explained. When it's a benefit events, we require to create 7 events or 6 events. When I say benefit enrollment event in one word, in fact, we have to configure six, what you call, 6 tabs we have to configure. So when I say health insurance rate, at least 4 tables we have to configure. So high level I'm explaining. Once you start the regular, which is more elaborate.
So, do you have any document, any cheat chart that have all those steps that you configure?
I'm going to give the Workday
Okay.
certified material. Along with that, I'll give the page numbers to do activities also. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh,
How long again this training is going to?
so minimum we need 20 hours,
Okay.
syllabus, and we'll go a little more than that based on the questions and activities you guys are doing. But we'll aim for 20. It may go a little more than. Okay, let's say 20, 25 hours.
Okay. Just asking. Okay. I'm not in a rush. I was just asking.
Okay, okay. Okay. So shall we hold connect tomorrow? Continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank thank you so much for your time. Hi,
All
Al.
right. All right.
Hi,
All
sir.
right. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Soon more.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.